Hey, it's me again. Now, I am not supposed to be sharing this story, but I have just got to tell somebody what happened to Ernestine Fink at her gynecology appointment. If you are squeamish about things of the female nature, or you don't want to have to explain this to your child in the car, then you need to stop listening right now. I'll give you a minute. Now, to those who don't know her, you will not find a woman on this planet with more of a servant's heart than Ernestine Fink. Why, if the Bible were written today, that woman would get herself a whole book and then some. Just about every person in this town has a memory that includes sitting on that woman's lap as a child in Sunday school singing, "Jesus loves me, this I know." And having her hang your crayon and glitter glue painted macaroni picture of the nativity scene on the Sunday school bulletin board, why, is enough to make you believe in anything. It almost doesn't feel right telling you about Miss Ernestine's private doctor appointment. But since it's true, it's not really gossip. And as long as you promise not to tell anybody else. So she had her yearly PAP on Monday. And before she goes in for her appointment, she stops by the church to clean up the Sunday school room since she didn't quite finish the day before because her children took her out for a birthday lunch at Applebee's and she was in a rush. Now, you know, we all want to be at our freshest for appointments like that, don't you know? Which is why Ernestine took a moment to grab one of the cleaning cloths from the craft table and do a little quick personal grooming, which was kind of hard in that cramped little kindergarten bathroom with the dim lighting, and then she was out the door. Laying on that table is something most of us as women try not to think about more than we have to. Sliding across that scratchy white paper like what they wrap turkey in from the deli. Trying to act like we're cool, knowing in just a moment some doctor who looks like our grandson will be trying to make polite conversation like we're at a dinner party or something. Which I've always wondered, by the way, what would happen if I did run into my gynecologist at a dinner party? Would he recognize me? Would he turn to his wife and whisper, "Hey dear, she's the one with the you-know-what on her you-know-what." So you can imagine poor Ernestine's surprise when the doctor looked up over the sheet and said, "Well, Miss Ernestine, aren't you mighty fancy this morning?" Ernestine didn't know how to respond. In all her years, she had never had the doctor refer to her nether regions as fancy. And how inappropriate. She would have to make a comment on the survey. "You definitely brought a little sparkle to my day," he said. "I'm going to have to tell my wife about this one." And then the man had the gall to wink at her on his way out the door. Ernestine got dressed so fast she wasn't even sure she had everything put back in the right place. When they checked her out up front, the lady at the desk winked at her too. What in heaven's name has happened to our world, she thought, as her cheeks just flamed in embarrassment. The whole way home, she thought of different ways to address the horrible unprofessionalism of that doctor. She even thought of writing an anonymous letter and sending it to the etiquette column of the newspaper. What to do when your doctor compliments your hoo-hoo. She stormed into the house and asked her husband, Earl, if he would consider her to have fancy lady parts. He pretended he didn't hear her, thinking it was a trick question, and rushed out of the room. It wasn't until later that day, when she was changing into her jogging pants to go walking with Mildred, that she noticed something odd on the floor, a tiny little trail of sparkle. Where was that coming from? Why, it seemed to be coming from her. And then she had one of those moments of what they call clarity, and everything began to make sense. Back in that Sunday school classroom, when she had grabbed for a cloth to go wipe up a little, and because she couldn't see in there worth a hoot, she did not notice that she grabbed a cloth that was covered in glitter. Yes, ma'am. Ernestine Fink had done bedazzle her hoo-hoo. Oh, it was fancy, all right. No wonder the doctor commented when that bright light shined down on what was enough glitter to make her look like a shaken up snow globe on Christmas morning. She would have been horrified, but she just couldn't catch her breath. She was laughing too hard. I mean, did she have a story to tell Mildred or what? And when she told Mildred on her walk, they both laughed so hard, they peed a little. And you have to wonder if it sparkled. But remember now, you did not hear it from me. I tell you what, only something like that can happen in Pride's Hollow, the small town with a big heart, where the people stay, but the gossip travels. I'll be back.